welcome back and joining me on my YouTube channel, Supreme Comics Girl. So I'm really happy to be coming on, guys, and talking about the 4th episode of Disney Plus series WandaVision. Now, I did do a reaction last night to the promo for this episode, and that got me really excited. So this episode, there was a lot going on. Obviously, last week we seen Wanda, and when Monica had said to her, Monica Rambeau had said mentioned Ultron, and she knew about her brother Quicksilver being killed by Ultron, then she just stood and stared and was like, what did you say? And then we obviously got the gist of what happened, but we didn't actually get to see what happened. But we actually got to see that within this episode, which I will get to. Now, this episode started off with the character Monica Rambeau, and she was sitting on a chair. And I realised, obviously, this was at the, like, when Thanos did the snap, but then also when Robert Downey Jr. did the snap, you know, when he done the snap, aka Iron Man, and she had been disappeared. She was like, what's going on? Where am I? Where's my mother? And they're like, your mum's not here anymore, she's dead. And she's like, what? So she had been disappeared for 2 years during, you know, the blip, obviously. And what I loved about this episode was it was very Marvel-esque. I'm not saying the other episodes haven't been, but they've kind of been a bit like, I think this is going to be a slow-moving kind of a show, but I don't think, as I was saying last night in the promo trailer reaction, I don't think enough people are giving this show a chance. The first episode was a slow burner, then episode 2 was better, episode 3 was brilliant last week, and this episode was the best one. We had returning Marvel characters. We had Darcy from Thor. We also had, from Thor movies, we also had Jimmy Woo, who of course we know has been an agent at S.H.I.E.L.D. and he worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. and we also know that he was the like the probation officer basically that was set in charge of Scott Lang, which is also obviously Ant-Man, when he was under house arrest. So these two turned up in this episode, and we seen Darcy. They brought her in, you know, to see what she could find, and Darcy said, I'm going to need a, you know, like an old flat screen TV. And what she gets to see is she's watching episode 1. See, this is what I'm saying was so smartly, cleverly done. They're showing you everything that's been going on from episode 1 and the build up to what's been going on behind the scenes and how it all unraveled the way it did. And so this episode, what I loved about it was it answered so many questions. So she was basically watching the first episode, you know, of them two, you know, sitting together on the settee and being happy and like the sitcom kind of show kind of deal. And then she's seen the episode where Monica, the 3rd episode where she said about Ultron. And she went, what did you say? And then it stopped. And the rest of them were like, and Jimmy Woo was like, what's going on? Why did it stop? And she's like, I don't know. I have no idea. But then what was really cool was when she and Jimmy Woo and everyone walked away, us as the viewers, we got to see, Marvel let us see what actually did happen. And obviously we seen her using her telekinesis, and she was saying, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was like, you're not from here and you don't belong here and you don't need to be here, or something like that there. And then poof, and she pushed her right out of what you may as well call is her bubble dome of her own alternate reality, that she is controlling literally absolutely everything, which is what we got to find out about this episode, which I loved. And the wall and everything broke, and then when Monica was thrown into the outside the bubble, she put everything back together again, you know, made the hole in the wall go back and everything. And then we seen her in Vision, and she was like, oh darling, she had to go home. And we got her saying that part in episode 3, but we didn't actually get to see her using her telekinesis and everything. And like, that was really funny the way she like threw her out. It's like, get the heck out of here, love. And what I loved about this episode was Monica Rambeau, before I get to this part, basically what I found really interesting and weird was the cops were standing where the sign said Westview, and Jimmy Woo and Monica Rambeau were sort of asking the cops about Westview, and they went, Westview doesn't exist, we've never known of it. And they went, well, where are you from? Like, you know what I mean? Where do you live? And they were like, Eastwood. Yet the cops were literally standing on the left, I think it was, at the big green sign that said Westview. So you're like, okay, so sorry about the lighting there, guys, that really badly went off. Sorry about that. So the cops knew, or the cops didn't know about Westview. They're like, there is no such a thing, that yet they're standing beside the sign. But yet Sword knew, they sensed, they obviously knew that there was, you know, something going on, and that there is a Westview. So what Monica done was she sent in a plate, like a little helicopter, and then it was just gone. She couldn't see it. But then she put her hand through, and Jimmy Woo was like, be careful, and she actually was able to go inside the dome. And that's how she ended up in the other, obviously, all the episodes. But then what I loved about it was, not only did this episode show us Sword trying to find the character Monica Rambeau, but it also showed us, you know, how everything sort of took fold, you know, how, and also trying to connect with Wanda, because you know the episode where on the radio it said, Wanda, Wanda, can you hear me? Wanda, Wanda. That was Jimmy Woo's voice. So that was very interesting. So a lot of the things that we've been seeing and finding a little bit weird, or like, I'm not quite 100% sure. All I've been doing all along in my reviews has just been surmising and guessing. But what I loved is we were able to find everything out, basically, about this episode. So that's what I loved, was that not only were they trying to communicate with Scarlet Witch, with Wanda, but they were also trying to find Monica Rambeau from when she first entered into the dome, which I thought was so cool how they done. And they made this episode the most Marvel-esque episode out of all 4 of them. And I really loved that, because I'm a huge Marvel fan. And I think it's a shame that this show isn't getting like given the chance really by a lot of people, because I mean, I was a bit sketchy when I was watching the trailers, and I didn't really know. Like, I did admit that it wasn't on my list for my most anticipated shows, because it just didn't really get much from the trailers that I thought, it doesn't look amazing or anything. But having watched the first 4 episodes, I am going to make a prediction, and I can guarantee you guys, come back and tell me if I'm right or wrong in the next few weeks. Because this is starting to get more Marvel-esque, there's a lot of YouTubers that have not been talking about this show whatsoever will jump on the bandwagon once it gets more Marvel-esque, which it has in today's episode, and they will come on and start talking about it, even though they haven't reviewed the other episodes. And that's not me trying to like be catty or anything, but I'm just being honest. I think a lot of YouTubers are just thinking, oh no, I don't know about that or whatever. But a lot more people are going to start talking about this once, you know, they see it's got more Marvel-esque. And proof of that is, like, last night I did a promo reaction for episode 4, and because Darcy showed up in it, and because Jimmy Woo showed up in it, I've had like over 500 views, and I wouldn't normally get that amount of views in like one night. So that's kind of proven to me that because it's got more Marvel-esque, it's going to create more of a hype. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's a great thing. That is a really, really good thing. So happy days. I really enjoyed this episode. I like seeing, you know, other characters coming in that I'm already familiar with, because obviously I've seen every Marvel movie that there is that has ever existed. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see episode 5. And I love that we got to see exactly what happened after she said to Monica, you know, what did you just say about Ultron? What did you just say? Because she knew about her brother. And I thought that was really cool how they blended it all in. I really thought it was so cool how they did this episode, how we got to see, you know, the whole events from episode 1 to present, basically in the now. So it was very cleverly done. Very cleverly done. Very cleverly done. So let me know. Hector freaking well, yes, love this episode. Let me know all your thoughts, comments, opinions, theories down below. I can't wait till next Friday to watch episode 5. So yes, this show is brilliant. And yeah, I mean, Disney Plus are doing really well for shows. I mean, look at The Mandalorian. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for coming and joining me, and if you would like to donate to my YouTube channel, down in my pinned comment section, I will have left a comment where you can go and you can donate to my PayPal account. It's never expected, but it's always appreciated, and you can go on and donate $1, $5, whatever you want and whenever you want. So other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I will speak to you soon, guys. Bye.